okay. I'm about to have a good day. I'm about to have a good day.
Hi, this is Greg McCulloh coming to you live from the Alter Self Mindset Set, where today we'll be discussing another one of our laws in our series on the law, which is the law of increase. The law of increase. This is what I think a lot of people are wanting to do. I think they're wanting to try and get their life to increase in whatever ways that they're trying an achievement to make this happen. Um, I think, though, a largely neglected part of what they're trying is they're trying to get everything in the physical, and they wonder why these things somehow wear out, or somehow they're not sticking around, or maybe success doesn't feel like what it should be. It's because we're not using our spiritual essence to walk in faith. Okay, I want to start out in a verse here in this law of increase with this verse, John 3 and verse 30. It says, "He must increase, but I must decrease. I must decrease." And I was discussing this with one of my friends, and he and I were discovering what was the best way to understand something that has a crease in it. And if I have a brand new piece of paper here, um, and I had this paper and it was all wrinkled up, um, and I wanted to write on it. I wanted to have this paper to write on, but it had too many wrinkles in it, and those are creases. Okay, these are places that have been bent and shaped to the fashion of whatever I was using it for, or to put in a space in your pocket, or whatever, folded in a book. Um, these are places that are like what we are in our mind. Okay. The best thing to do is get a new piece of paper. Get a new piece of paper. If you're going to use something, start out with a new piece of paper, right? So the thing that's already been contorted and bent and creased, the best thing to do is just do away with it and get the new piece of paper. This is the terminology that God would have used in talking to Nicodemus. Nicodemus wanted to try and get the wrinkles out of this thing when Jesus was talking to him about being born again. Okay, being born again. This place is the fact that you've already been born one time. And your environment and your genetic display and the things that you've experienced in life have creased who you are to be a program, a set of conscious beliefs, habits, ideas known as a paradigm. All right, and this paradigm is like a computer program, right? Like it is basically you're the one who did all the see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, put the ideas and beliefs in your mind to be on display, just like the software on a computer. But this is like the aware, the thing that's on the inside. Okay, we'll discuss that a little bit further. Um, every computer has to be programmed. People have to be programmed too. You get it through your environment, like I said, genetic display. And you get these things put in there. And what our job then is to become the new model. Buckminster Fuller, famous guy, he designed the geodesic dome. Genius of the guy. He said the best way to correct something is to design a new model to make the old model obsolete. Design a new model to make the old model obsolete. Okay, and the law of increase has got much to do with that. Um, when you think about the aspect of being born again, what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to have this new birth experience so that you can reprogram yourself to have the things that you want. And we do this a lot when I do mentorship and I work with my team. Um, we design it where people understand these new beliefs, habits, ideas that they have are a part of a program that causes your subconscious mind to bring you all the things that you want. But you do it out of a learned behavior. Okay, a person can have an emotional impact and they completely change everything all at one time. But the real way to learn something is through repetition. repetition. Schools taught us a lot about that. We learned every single year a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, basically of the same curriculums. Maybe you added a few things here and there. But what you're learning from is a thing called memory. And that's what it is that you're learning things from is your memory. Well, your memory is just one of your higher faculties. You have to act in faith to get things from your memory. Okay, and the Bible says without faith it's impossible to please God. Just remember that. Right? It's impossible to please God. So you have to use the other faculties that you're given. You say, well, what are they? And we've discussed this before, but I'll name them for you. You got memory, you got intuition, you got perception, which we'll discuss in a minute, perception, reason, and imagination, and the will. Okay, so you have these six major higher faculties that will allow you to use your faith to please God. And if you don't do this, just realize you're using them anyway. You're just not doing them on purpose. You're not aware that you are. Okay, you have to use your memory all the time to drive a car. For instance, like if you're old enough to drive a car, you do it out of habit. You don't get into the car every single time and relearn how to drive the car. You do it because you're building a program out of the memories of the things you had. Okay, just like when you first time you got burned. Right. The first time you got burned, that was a lesson. That was an emotional impact. You're like, oh, I don't want to do that again. Or maybe you touched some electricity. Maybe you got shocked. Okay. And then you don't want to do that again. You realize you say, aha, I'm learning from memory here, not what not to do. You can also program your mind on what to do from memory. Okay. Look at the good experiences you had. Not like standing up or riding a bicycle or a motorcycle or anything that takes balance, something that's working with law, which is gravity. All those things are just lessons we learn. Okay. The lesson we're learning today is that we have to use our perception to be able to work this law of increase. The law of increase, it works through a thing called praise. Okay, praise. If you want more in your life, you have to give good to receive good. Okay, the Bible says for him to know it to do good and doeth it not, to him it is a sin. Okay, so if you don't do this on purpose, you're going to try and do other things, and we're apt to notice what's wrong about things and what's you know how things are not working in our favor. So you do that on impulse because of this programming that you have. Okay, you what you got to do is you got to get out of that, see to yourself through your perception. And that's where you're going to change this window of sight to be able to project things that are coming to you on the positive side. You're going to be able to see that a broken car, if you praise it for having hauled you around for all those times and all those trips that it did its job, if you'll praise that car that you've had, it can bring you the car that you really want, the one that you can have, that God has in supply for you in potential. Also, it becomes a way of life. Jesus would have said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. So realize it becomes a way that you are, and in that production is what brings you all the things that are on this path. Okay? This path of flow. Okay, we're working in an energy field. Is what you're going to have to understand. Your thoughts are physical things. The Bible says also, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You're sowing your ideas and your thoughts, habits, beliefs into the mind when you do this thing of thinking. We covered that in the first lesson that I had. You look back through the series, but our thoughts become physical things. Just realize that. You can't say a kind word to someone unless first you have a thought that you should. So you have to train your mind to be able to think in this positive response to things rather than to react to whatever is the circumstance. And then you won't have to react. You'll be having learned behavior. Okay. An act is a thing that comes from behavior. Okay. And I go by this all the time. In fact, I've got it on my telephone right here. It says, think, feel, and act. Think, feel, and act. These are very important things. These are things that are in the spiritual realm, 96 to 98% of what you are. These are your program. Okay? So you have to do this thing. I'll get on through this video here. Um, to get good back from anything, you have to put good out. Okay? Praise changes our outlook in life. When we look for things like if my glasses were broke right here, I would want a new pair, but I should think to myself, man, these glasses have been good glasses. They've allowed me to see tons of things. Because I'm going to show you something. There is intelligence in everything. Okay? Intelligence is omnipresent. It's in everything. It's in this computer. It's in my glasses. It's in everything that took thought to be able to form. Okay? To bring these glasses into the world, someone had to come up with technology enough to make this glass and these frames and bend them and do all that work and program something to be able to make this or make it by their hands, put it together with their hands. I had to see a doctor to be able to have these things. Realize that all those things are in consciousness. Okay? They're an unconscious thing until you bring consciousness to it and notice that they're doing a good job. Okay? You're to give credit so that you can allow the good in life to bring you more of what you're producing. If you give somebody a good word of praise, if you say you're doing such a good job, realize you've produced what is God in his potential. You brought it into this world because you thought about it. Okay? That is what I think people are messing up on a lot because all this power operates by law. Okay? It's give and it shall be given. That's the greatest law. Okay? Give and it shall be given. Um, when we do these things, we send energy into our source of supply. We send it into it, and it then gives us back energy. It's a lightning bolt speed because our thoughts are powerful, but they travel at the speed of light. Okay, you got to realize they go out and in just as quick as you can blink your eye. In the twinkling of an eye, as a matter of fact. That's how quick God gives back what it is that you're trying to get from him. So if you give out good, or if you produce greatness inside of you, realize he's filling you at the same time with this potential of what it is that you want to become. All right? See, we have to look and seek to find the good in whatever, and praise changes our outlook. I said that it changes our perception. Okay? Um, there's just no conscious awareness in things. All right? Like you got to bring the awareness to it. You have to notice that it's doing good. You also have to say it. I mean, you have to say it in one way or another. You have to think to yourself the way that it should be and say it that way, create the voice inside, or you have to audibly say it to whatever it is. What a good job you're doing. Like this table that I'm looking at right here, it's doing such a good job holding all the things that I have on it. All right? And so in potential, you have to be the one who hits the switch. You have to be the one to choose to turn the light on. You're this thing that is the switch. You get a chance to connect. You got three different things going on with power. Okay, power has a positive, a ground, and a negative. Positive, ground, and negative. You have to be the one that chooses to use the positive. Okay, the negative is going to come. There's going to be some negative things there. You have to choose to see the good in whatever it is that someone's doing. I mean, if it's a terrible, bad feel or a bad person, maybe someone's being mean to you or whatever, you got to be able to see the good in it. I know that but there's tons of Bible principles that go along with it. I don't know it's hard. That's going to be the hardest work. But once you get programmed, it's just like driving a car. You're going to be able to perform on a daily basis the things that you never thought you could, and it'll bring you an extraordinary life. So with all of that, I'm going to wrap up this video, The Law of Increase. If you have any questions or comments, just send it to us, and we'll get back with you in the next video. And thank you for your time.
Okay. I'm about to have a good day. I'm about to have a good day.